Hi, my name is Peyton, and I will be doing my relationship analysis. So, I chose to do the analysis on my relationship with my boyfriend, Ethan. We've been together for what will be 3 years in this July, and we've known each other since we were in elementary school. So, we've known each other for a really long time. We wasn't until high school though where we had a similar friend group of friends, and we started hanging out and know each other on a deeper level, and that's where we developed feelings for one another and started dating in high school. So the four concepts I'll be going over is the reciprocal friendship, the social penetration theory, vocalics, and the social exchange theory. Starting off with the reciprocal friendships. So, reciprocal friendships are interpersonal relationships between people who are equals with a shared sense of loyalty and commitment, and they typically develop over time and are extremely rewarding. So, in my relationship with Ethan, we were actually friends for a whole year before we even started dating. We had mutual friends, we had classes together, and we would talk pretty regularly for people who had mutual friends. And because of that, I feel like we were able to be in a relationship that was stress free, and it started off like super easy almost because we had that starting basis of a friendship. And I believe that in order for a relationship to succeed, you need to be with someone who is your best friend. And I feel like that's why our relationship has lasted as long because, first and foremost, we are friends and we are each other's best friends. And I think that's why our relationship works because we get each other. So, my second concept is the social penetration theory. This theory states that people develop deeper relationships when they disclose more intimate information about themselves to each other. And the longer that me and Ethan have been together, the more we have disclosed and trusted each other with information about one another. And when we started dating, we had to learn what works between us and how to deepen our connection from friendship to partners in order to build that strong connection. So it's like when we were friends, it was very like superficial, just shared like the outer layer of each other, and it wasn't really like a deep connection. And it wasn't until we started going out on dates and talking more often that led to those more like intimate personal feelings and connections. So my third concept is vocalics. So vocalics involves nonverbal and verbal aspects of speech that influence the meaning, including the rate, pitch, tone, volume, intensity, pausing, and even silence. In a relationship, from my experience, you can get really easily like too comfortable with the way you speak to one another. And I feel like the way you speak to one another really speaks volumes for how your relationship is going to end up. And everything about the way you say something matters in a conversation, no matter who you're talking to, whether it's like a friend, a partner, a parent, a stranger. The way you say something is always what matters more. And so anytime I'm in a conversation with my boyfriend Ethan, I think back to vocalics and try to ask myself, how am I saying it? Am I saying it with a certain attitude? Am I saying it with a certain tone? Or am I raising my voice too much for what I'm saying? Am I not saying anything at all? And so constantly I'm thinking back to this being like, how can I get my point across without it damaging our relationship in any way with how I'm speaking to him. So, my last concept is a social exchange theory, and this proposes that social behavior is the result of a cost benefit analysis where individuals evaluate the potential rewards and costs of their interactions and relationships. So, my relationship, my boyfriend and I constantly are weighing costs and rewards all the time, whether it's small things like should we go out to eat? Should we stay at home and eat? Should we go out and do something? Or should we kind of stay at home more low key, save money? And so we do that all the time. But for us, on like the bigger scale, having each other and having each other as our partners like constantly outweighs any argument that we have, and anything that gets brought up that we argue about, disagree with. I'm like constantly remind myself, I'm like, well, having him as my partner, having him as my best friend, like that's more important to me than any stupid, silly argument that we're having. And so at the end, we come together and we figure out a solution so that we can be better with each other and for each other. So, in conclusion, after this analysis, I can see how my boyfriend and I prioritize how we treat each other and how we can make a relationship stronger over a lot of other things. It really makes me realize that, like, we really try to not argue and we try to make sure we're treating each other as best as we can. And I really didn't realize how starting off your relationship as a friendship was something that truly can make your relationship last. But as I looked more into it, as I dug more into the analysis of it, I realized that the reason why our relationship works is because we are friends first and we truly value each other's like opinions and thoughts and we truly value each other at heart. And so we want to make sure that we are the best person for each other.